Hey everybody, it is Mike. It is Saturday. That means it is time for the Saturday Slashback Challenge. This is a fun little challenge put together every week by our friend Joe over at the Horror Man. This week's theme was basically B-side slashers. So we're looking at slasher movies from directors who are better known for other movies. Didn't necessarily have to be a horror movie. But I decided to go ahead. So, like for instance, we could talk about John Carpenter's Halloween, but that's one of his A movies. So we would want to look farther into his catalog for any movies that we feel that he did, slasher movies that were maybe less loved, less talked about. So I chose Toby Hooper. He's the dude who directed Texas Chainsaw Massacre, among others. The movie I am talking about is actually called The Funhouse, and this came after Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Texas Chainsaw Massacre was in '74, and this movie, The Funhouse, was released in '81. It was also known as Carnival of Terror because that is the setting of this movie, which is really cool. It's a traveling carnival. And back in the day, I remember these carnivals would be all over the little towns where I grew up. And my mom and dad would never allow me to go up to the carnival area while uh, during the day when they were working or be alone at night. I always had to either be with a brother or sister or them because they did not have a great reputation. And some of that was, unfortunately brought on by some of the shenanigans that went on with those people. But this movie is not the most gory, horrifying movie, but it is fun. And we have four teenagers who decide that they're going to hide out in a dark ride overnight, just for whatever reason. One of the boyfriends thinks that it would be fun. So we have Elizabeth Berenger as Amy. She went on to do some things, but she not a whole lot. But she did both movies and TVs. You know, a little bit here and there, and still occasionally pops up in something. Her boyfriend Buzz is played by Cooper Huckabee, who has been very involved in his career since before this movie and after. He's done quite a bit, a lot of TV. Then we have Largo Woodruff, who plays Liz. She's done some stuff, but her most recent thing was Woman in Car in Jeepers Creepers 2. So there was that one scene where this car says, "Hey, we'll get help," and then you later see the car with the roof ripped open. So she continued to do a little bit in the horror scene. And then Miles Chapin, it's her boyfriend Richie. He too has done some stuff. And then the Barker of the Funhouse Dark Ride is played by Kevin Conaway. It's also known as Conrad, and he has done a lot in his career. I mean, if you look at his filmography, he's done a ton. And then the final character I'll talk about is our monster. His name is Gunther, and he is played by Wayne Doba, who apparently hasn't done much after this movie. So we have these four kids. They're hiding out in this funhouse. They think it's going to be, hilarious and whatever. Turns out that they watch Gunther, who always has a mask on because he's deformed. He's got this horrible face with these crazy jutting teeth, and his mouth is all funky. Try to hook up with the fortune teller, but he gets a little too excited and doesn't quite make it to get to do anything before he finishes himself off. And then he gets mad and wants his money back, and the fortune teller is like, "Nope." So he kills her. Bummer. I hate when that happens. So they see this and they kind of flip out, so they hide from him. And in the meantime, Richie, who is Liz's boyfriend, decides that he's going to steal the money because he found some money in a safe So he steals this money. And Conrad comes in and sees what Gunther has done to Zelda, the fortune teller, and then he realizes that money's missing from the safe. And then one of the boys' lighter falls to the ground, and they both realize that somebody's in there. So basically, what happens is there's this big chase. The kids arm themselves with various things from the funhouse, but you know, what good would any of that stuff really do? I don't know. But they do basically run into Gunther or Conrad throughout the rest of the movie. It's kind of intense at times, and one by one they get picked off. So you have Richie, who is really the reason that they're there and the reason that they're in trouble because he stole the money. He ends up getting killed. And then poor Liz falls through some trapdoors and she runs into Gunther. And they have a big fight, but she eventually out of there. And then we have Buzz and Amy fighting for their lives. And Buzz does end up killing Conrad. And then, not Conrad, and then Gunther kills Buzz. And then eventually Amy comes out as the victor. So, not a lot of gore. You're not going to get a whole lot of bodies in this movie. Just, I mean, there were plenty. You had the fortune teller. You had, three of the four kids, and then the two protagonists. So, or antagonists? Well, the two bad guys. Anywho. But yeah, it's a fun little movie. There's a little homage to Halloween at the beginning of this one. If you watch this movie, you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, fun little movie. I'm glad I watched it. It was not, like I said, not one of Tobe Hooper's best. It only made about $7 million at the box office. So yeah, not a huge movie for him, but one that I enjoy a lot. So that is it for this week, guys. We'll see what Joe gives us next.